Welcome back to the channel, guys. So we have entered into the Ultra League phase of the season 6, and there is some news regarding usage of level 50 Pokemons that you will be able to use those Pokemons as long as they are under 2500 CP. So I'm definitely expecting some level 40 plus Pokemons as the season progress, and yeah, I mean that's the part of the game. So the one I'm looking for is Skarmory. So Skarmory would be very useful Pokemon, at least in my opinion. And the other one is I'm looking at is Shiftry, because Shiftry is very spammy, and with the with the level 50 option you will be able to power it up alongside 2500 CP range. So that's my take on the level 50 Pokemons. But the team which we are featuring today actually is the team which I used towards the end of season 4. I did not get to a chance to feature that on a video, but I just picked that up from my battle icon, and yeah, I just used that team. So before we start with the team composition, if you are new to the channel or if you like our content, do make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It will help us a lot. And we also have Battleset Discord server, so if you want to interact with us, there is a link in the description down below, so do make sure to check out that. So I was able to reach rank 20 before the Great League ended, and the ELO range which I started was around 2100, and now I am close to 2150, as you can see. So I was automatically granted the ace rank, and yeah, that's it. I did my battles today, and I am still at 2150 range. So looking at the team composition which we are running is Crustle in the lead, and followed by Dragonite and Toxicroak in the back. So I really like Dragonite in the Ultra League, and I have made a lot of videos on it, and you can check those out in my season 4 playlist. So yeah, I mean, I really like Dragonite, and it's a pretty neutral matchup against a lot of Ultra League meta. And Toxicroak is the mon which I made towards the end, so I really like to keep it. And even though PvPoke does not recommend it, I was able to pull off some victories with it. I'm not saying that it's a great team, but once you start playing with it, I guess you can pull off really good matches. So without further delays, let's start with the battles and see how the battle goes. So we are in a Drifloon lead, and very favorable lead. So the opponent will make a swap to Machamp, and I make two mistakes there, that I was not quick to the swap and I swap into Dragonite. I definitely should have come in with Toxicroak, because Toxicroak would have resisted all the charge moves and fast moves coming in from Shadow Machamp, and that Toxicroak has a very bad matchup against that Drifloon. So yeah, definitely not a very good strategy at my part. But this was my first Ultra League battle and the first battle of the day as well, so I was a bit rusty. And this was a second mistake, that I went for Hurricane, and once I knew that I would not be able to reach it, I did not go for Dragon Claw. So but now we are still able to match this Toxicroak against the Abomasnow, and we have Crustle up against this Drifloon. And again, like, I make another mistake of not charging up to Rock Slide, and this gives an opportunity to my opponent to farm a lot of energy off of me, and they still have a shield in place, but the smackdowns are doing a lot of damage. And again, I make a mistake of not throwing the X-Scissor. I made too many mistakes in this game, else I would not have. Yeah, I probably would have won, because Toxicroak was able to almost farm down the Drifloon, and yeah, I think I just managed to find my lose condition there, like, very badly. So yeah, I mean, not really well played. Moving on to the next one, and we are in a very favorable lead again. So let's see if we don't mess it up this time. So the opponent comes in with Escavalier, and I learned from my previous mistake and come in with Toxicroak this time, because Toxicroak will really struggle against that Dragonite. So they go for Drill, and definitely you would want to shield this, because that will be super effective. So we'll go for Mud Bomb of my own. This will almost take out the Escavalier, but the opponent shields, and expecting another Drill Run. So we are looking to shield this Drill Run and farm the Escavalier all the way down. So we are able to successfully farm down the Escavalier, and expecting Dragonite to come back in, but we will be able to throw this Sludge Bomb, or we make a swap to Dragonite of our own. This draws out their Swampert, so that's really good. I think the opponent made a blind swap there. If they have not swapped into their Swampert, they might have won, because Dragonite would have done super effective damage to our Dragonite. even though they go for Sludge Wave, I think we will be able to get to a Dragon Claw because Mud Shot is heavily resisted. So the opponent will shield this one, but we will be able to almost bring down this Swampert to almost no health. We can come in with Crustle, farm some energy off the Swampert, and I think even though it's just a Dragon Claw, it will not do a lot of damage because Crustle is kind of bulky, and we are able to go for Rock Slide, and this Rock Slide will definitely be able to take out this Dragonite. So yeah, good game. Moving on to the next one, and let's see what do we get. So we are in a Alolan Muk lead, and this lead favors Alolan Muk because our like X-Scissor is not a very good move, even though it will do sun neutral damage. So definitely would want to go for Rock Slide, but Alolan Muk is very spammy. So I'm charging up to a Rock Slide and going for an X-Scissor, but the opponent was able to sneak in one Snarl away, and the opponent shielded that X-Scissor, which is really good because now we can shield our Crustle and potentially look to go for Rock Slide. So again, I charge some extra energy and go for double bit. I'm not sure why was I doing that, but yeah, I mean definitely the Rock Slide was the way to go there because the opponent was not most likely to shield. But again, in my defense, these are pretty early battles. So I come in with Toxicroak and farm some energy of that Alolan Muk. Let's see what the opponent comes back in with. So they come back in with Charizard, and we are going for Sludge Bomb. This will do a lot of damage because Charizard is quite squishy. So yeah, I was tapping furiously on Dragonite there, attempting to swap, but this in turn gave some energy to Charizard. They go for Dragon Claw since they were already ahead on energy. So yeah, not looking good, and definitely not a very good play also. And the opponent will now make a swap to Venusaur. That's good because we will be able to resist everything except for Sludge Bomb, which will be neutral. But we will be able to chip down this Venusaur quite a lot before this Venusaur gets to a Sludge Bomb. And the opponent goes for Sludge Bomb and takes out our Dragonite. So we can come in with Toxicroak. Our Toxicroak is fairly healthy, so we will be resisting that Frenzy Plant, but it will do a lot of damage. And Charizard is at almost no health, so yeah, looking good for us. And I think the opponent lagged a bit there and going for Mud Bomb, and yeah, I think definitely the opponent lagged there. So yeah, I mean unfortunate for my opponent, but I think I would have been able to get to 2 Mud Bombs, but yeah, definitely lag played a part in me getting that win. So yeah, moving on to the next one, and we are in a Venusaur lead. So it's a pretty neutral lead because Venusaur will be doing neutral damage because Crustle is part rock, and this will do a lot of damage. It's Frenzy Plant from Venusaur is no joke. So we charge up to a Rock Slide and go for an X-Scissor. So this will again do neutral damage to the Venusaur, but the Venusaur will shield. We are able to almost get to an X-Scissor, but we are letting go of our Crystal because I wanted to come in with Dragonite and farm a lot of energy, but the opponent swaps into Shadow Snorlax, which is really good because we do have Toxicroak in the back. But I think Toxicroak as a fighter against the normal types, or especially against Snorlax, it's a pretty neutral matchup because Toxicroak is not really doing any damage with those charge moves. So I am planning to use Shadow Machamp instead of this Toxicroak, because Shadow Machamp with Rock Slide will be able to do a lot of damage. But we are able to feint down this Snorlax, even though I guess Snorlax used a shield there. So throwing the Sludge Bomb onto this Venusaur, and Dragonite, as long as there is no Charmer or Lapras in the back, it has a pretty neutral matchup. So they come in with Alolan Muk, and with one Shields down, I can directly go for Hurricane. I don't need to go for Dragon Claws, and this Hurricane will do a lot of damage. And this is what I like about Dragonite. Since Dragonite has a lot of neutral matchups in the Ultra League meta, that's why I like to run Dragonite. I like to run with Dragonite. So moving on to the next one, we are in a Tangrowth lead. So yeah, again a very favorable lead, but we do need to watch out for that Power Whip, or even Rock Slide will do a lot of damage. It's super effective, so definitely would want to shield that. But the opponent goes for Power Whip, not sure. Definitely Rock Slide is the way to go, and going for an X-Scissor. So the opponent will not shield. Tangrowth is a really bulky Pokemon, and I built a Tangrowth in the season 4 also. I spent a lot of dust in making mons in season 4. I think I made around 6 to 7 mons and spent around 1.5 million dust. So yeah, we are able to feint down that Tangrowth, and the opponent comes back in with Swampert. So I did not make the swap because I wanted to keep that Dragonite aligned with that Swampert. Even though the trade-off for Swampert will farm a lot of energy, So Swampert is already in yellow, so I think we are looking in a very favorable position. But they bait us with a hydro cannon, and going for a dragon claw. So this will bring down the Swampert very low, and the Swampert will shield though. So at this point, I thought that the opponent might have something weak to Dragonite, because they shielded the Swampert even though at low health. So I kept the Dragonite alive and made the swap to Toxicroak, and they come in with Escavalier, so probably they should have kept the shield for their Escavalier. But I think Dragonite is very healthy, and we will be able to fend down this Toxicroak with fend down the Escavalier with our Toxicroak, because I think, yeah, the opponent's win condition was they need to charge up to probably a Mega Horn and fend down a Toxicroak. So yeah, good game. Moving on to the next one, we are in an Ampharos lead. So this lead, I'm not sure how this plays out, but this should favor Crustle, because Ampharos will not be doing a lot of damage with those Thunder Punches, but they eventually swap out to Lapras, and we do have an answer for that in the form of Toxicroak. And I guess Shadow Machamp again would have done pretty well here instead of Toxicroak, but yeah, let's focus on Toxicroak at the moment. So yeah, we will be able to shield this surf, and we'll be able to or we are letting go of the Toxicroak. Not sure why, but maybe I wanted to keep the shield advantage there. Questionable play. So we'll come in with Crustle and farm down this Lapras, and with Lapras gone, I think Dragonite can have a pretty good run, because Lapras is a very big counter to the Dragonite, and they have a Venusaur in the back, so that's really good. Things have aligned pretty well. So they go for Sludge Bomb, and we rightly shield this Sludge Bomb, and we are charging up some extra energy and going for Dragon Claw. If this does not shield, this will be able to take out the Venusaur. So Venusaur definitely will shield, and they come in with Ampharos, and don't need to shield the first Thunder Punch, but definitely would want to shield this one. So now we need to reach Dragon Claw before the Ampharos gets to another Thunder Punch. Over farming was a bit dangerous there, because we definitely would want to take damage from Vine Whip rather than those Volt Switches. But fortunately, we are able to get to Dragon Claw, and we'll be able to take down the Venusaur. So yeah, good game. Moving on to the next one, and we are in a Gyarados lead, so very favorable lead. If it was running Dragon Breath, it is running Dragon Breath, so the opponent will eventually swap out to Snorlax, and Snorlax is a pretty good safe swap in the Ultra League as well, because it's pretty neutral to everything. But we do have an answer for that in the form of Toxicroak. So going for Mud Bomb, let's see if the opponent will shield this one. The opponent does not shield, and that's the reason I would prefer Shadow Machamp over Toxicroak, because Shadow Machamp will do a lot of damage even with the cross chop on a very neutral Pokemon, but in turn it will take a lot of damage as well. So the opponent comes back in with Gyarados, and we throw this Sludge Bomb. So this Sludge Bomb, if not shielded, will do a lot of damage, and it almost takes out the Gyarados, and the opponent will make a swap to Gallade. And here you'll see the power of Gallade, because Gallade is already able to chunk a lot of health of our Dragonite, even though Confusion is neutral. And I forgot how powerful Gallade is, because yeah, I mean, as you can see, it has already done a lot of damage. Those confusion damage is crazy. So definitely would want to come in with Crustle here, because Toxicroak will just get deleted. So Will is able to need to shield this first Leaf Blade, and here I make a crazy swap, or it's coming up. So going for this X-Scissor will get shielded, and just when the confusion ended, I was able to sack swap the Toxicroak. I think this was my win condition, that I need to get the Toxicroak save swap correct. So yeah, that's the trade-off using Gallade, because you definitely would want to watch out for those confusion. So was in an Escavalier lead, so I made the swap to Dragonite, and they have a Gyarados for our Dragonite, so not looking good, but we will be able to do a lot of damage even in the Master League Premier. Gyarados, the matchup against Gyarados is pretty neutral. So going for Dragon Claw, the Gyarados will shield, and fortunately it was a CMP tie, so that's really good for us, because we can now come in with Crustle, and since we are 2 shields up, we can invest 1 shield and possibly look to a farm down. Like, even though an Aqua Tail is there, it would not have KO'd us. We are able to knock out the Gyarados, and the opponent will come back in with Escavalier. So one drill, Crustle can take on one drill run. So Crustle takes it, and we are going for a Rock Slide. Let's see if this will not be enough, but will do a lot of damage. So we come in with Toxicroak and farm energy off of that Escavalier, and they have a Venusaur in the back, so that's really good because Toxicroak with one shield I think will be able to handle Venusaur pretty well, because we will be resisting all the charge moves and fast move coming in from that Venusaur. So definitely would want to shield the Frenzy Plant and potentially look not going for farm down, not taking any risk of taking on another Frenzy Plant, because Escavalier is very low and the opponent quits realizing they cannot win. So yeah, good game. Moving on to the next one in a galley lead. So at the time I didn't know how this matchup goes, so I stayed for this in a while. I attempted to catch the Leaf Blade onto the Dragonite, but in turn I have to spend a shield now. So the opponent tries to swap there and tries to take on the charge move, but we are able to successfully swap our Toxicroak onto that Snorlax. So that's really good. And building up to a Sludge Bomb and going for a Mud Bomb. Let's see if the opponent will shield this one. Not expecting a shield at Snorlax, and because the opponent can come in with Gallade and just delete our Toxicroak. So that's the reason I am not shielding here as well, because there was no point in keeping the Toxicroak alive. In turn I come back in with Crustle and fortunately able to farm down the Snorlax. So let's see what the opponent comes back in with. They already are at a shield advantage, so going for X-Scissor, this will do some neutral damage, and we already have another X-Scissor ready, but the opponent was able to snuck in a confusion in between. That's really unfortunate. So yeah, they will be able to get to a Leaf Blade, which will be able to knock us out. And yeah, so coming in with Dragonite, expecting to farm a lot of energy, and they come in with Crocodile. So I didn't know what movesets Crocodile run, and that's the reason I think I will lose the match. So I will not shield here because I was not sure what move was it, and I think that's the reason I will lose this game, because now Gallade is at enough health to just confusion us down, and had we invested our shield there, maybe we could have won. We would have enough health to survive a close combat or even a Leaf Blade. So yeah, it was very good game. So we are in a Lapras lead, so favorable lead, and the opponent is staying in this matchup, so we do need to watch out for those serves. But they eventually swap on into Gallade, and I swap to Dragonite, and again you'll see the confusions are almost doing as much damage as the Dragon Breath is. So yeah, I mean Gallade is no joke. You do need to watch out for the charge moves. Like we are at almost same health, but Gallade will be able to spam those leaf blades here and there, and we end up spending our both shields, and the Gallade was almost at another leaf blade, so I definitely needed to throw that charge move, and this puts us really in a bad spot, because even though Lapras will win the CMP, but if they have something flying in the back, maybe we are done. So farming some extra energy, and the opponent does a brilliant sack swap to catch on this rock slide onto their Tangrowth. It will do a reasonable amount of damage, but we will be able to do a lot of damage with our Toxicroak, because Toxicroak will resist all the charge moves coming in from this Tangrowth. And building up to a Sludge Bomb and going for Mud Bomb, expecting a shield at the opponent's end. Let's see, the opponent does not shield, but we will be able to counter on this Tangrowth, which is really good. And Lapras is at fairly low health, and they would need to throw their charge move as well. So yeah, looking fairly good, because we were able to charge some extra energy, even though we threw the rock slide. So this Ice Beam will knock us out, but we will be able to do enough damage with X-Scissor and the Smackdowns to knock out this Lapras. So yeah, good game. Moving on to the next one, and we are in a Gallade lead again. So let's see how we would like to play this out. Let's see if we get the sack swap correct this time. I think I failed here as well, but we are able to pull the trigger on X-Scissor before Gallade throw a move, and the opponent will shield this one. So I exchange shields in return. I shield the Leaf Blade as well. So the opponent, I think, will beat us to the next charge move, and Gallade definitely wins the CMP there. And this time I let go of my Crustle and come in with Dragonite in the expectation of farming some energy. So even though I pull the trigger on Dragonclaw, the Gallade is able to reach another charge move, reach close combat, which even though is resisted will do a lot of damage. And since it was CMP, when energy is also wasted, so not really looking good for us. I was tapping on Toxicroak furiously, and they come in with Venusaur, so we still have a play because we have our shield intact, and the opponent will not shield this sludge bomb, so definitely there is some play. And the opponent will go for frenzy plant, so I did not shield it. That questionable play maybe, but we go for mud bomb. Let's see if the opponent let go of their Venusaur or not. They will shield the Venusaur, and maybe what I could have done is I should have kept Toxicroak alive, but at the time I thought that Dragonite had a lot of health, but unfortunately we will get licked down, and yeah, we will not be able to get to Dragon Claw. So yeah, good game. Definitely a misplay from my end. Moving on to the next one, we are in a Shadow Venusaur lead, so I think this favors Crustle in the one shield scenario, but we do have to watch out. We do have to watch that. So definitely would want to shield the Frenzy Plant because it's neutral and will do a lot of damage, especially coming in from a Shadow Venusaur. So building up to a Rock Slide and going for X-Scissor, the opponent will shield this one, and Smackdown damage, as you can see, has added up. So I let go of my Crustle and expecting to come back in with Venusaur and farm a lot of energy off of that Venusaur. So unfortunately Venusaur is not able to get to a charge move, which is good for us, unfortunate for our opponent. The opponent thinks a bit and comes in with Obstagoon, so that's really good because we will be able to handle Obstagoon with that Toxicroak as well, and we go for Hurricane Nuke, so the opponent will not shit and will almost one shot the Obstagoon there. So they throw the Night Slash, which Dragonite can take on. So we both simultaneously swap, and they swap to Charizard. So they still have a win condition, but they were too early to throw this Dragon Claw, and we were not shielding that Dragon Claw anyway. So had they build up to a Blast one, maybe I would have shielded that, but grabbing the shield was the opponent's play, because now we are able to get to the Sludge Bomb, which will almost knock out this Charizard, or knock out the Charizard, and we countered on that obstacle. So yeah, good game. Moving on to the next one, and we are in a Abomasnow lead, so very favorable lead, and the Smackdown will eventually add up. So going for X-Scissor directly because it will be super effective onto this Abomasnow. The opponent will shield the X-Scissor, which is really good, and we are able to snuck in a Smackdown. So this Weather Ball will not do a lot of damage, and even though I think we shield this one and will look to farm down this Abomasnow now. And let's see, I think the opponent will make a swap, realizing they would have lost that matchup, and they come in with Clefable. So Clefable is really dangerous for our team because Toxicroak will take neutral damage and it's very squishy, but they did not shielded the Sludge Bomb, which is really good because now let's see if we are able to throw the Sludge Bomb onto the Charizard as well. So Toxicroak has put in some work in this matchup. So they shield the Sludge Bomb correctly, but we do have Crustle for that Charizard, and Rock Slide will just one shot it. Getting a bit of lag there, but I think we will be able to take this match. So yeah, Abomasnow will just quit. So yeah, good game. So that's it for this video, guys. And even though this team was not very strong, but I think we were able to pull off some really great victories with it. So definitely not recommending this team, but I think you can play along the lines. You can play along with some mons and keeping the core of Crustle Dragonite same. Maybe you can use a Shadow Machamp or a Venusaur to have some Swampert coverage. So if you like this video, if you like our content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Peace.